In the previous videos, we looked at how to preview and import cause and effect and client I/O into iDefine. In this video, we'll look at the modifications that can be made to a cause and effect module in iDefine and the things one should avoid while modifying cause and effect in iDefine. Shown here is the imported cause and effect. iDefine provides us various features to make things easy for the user. For instance, right-click on the output section and select text orientation to change the orientation of the outputs. If you want to change the logic gates used, right-click on the AND gate and change it to your desired gate. You can add a description field to the input side of the cause and effect to get a better understanding of each inputs. To do that, right-click on the input header and select column band chooser. This opens the customization window. Now drag and drop the description field into the input header. As you can see, the description field do not have any proper explanation for the tags. But if you look at the client I/O table, you can see that the comments field contains the proper description for the tags. To bring that in, you would have to map the comments field to the iDefine description field in the mapping section during client I/O import. Another important option in cause and effect module is the module explorer. It has three sections: I/O reference, object manager, and object grouping. The object manager section has all the I/O tags listed in the cause and effect module. These tags could also be dragged and dropped from the I/O reference section, which contains all the client I/O tags. In the I/O reference section, you can also select and add tags to the object manager that belongs to a particular area by using the area filter. To do that, right-click on the name header and select column chooser. Now drag and drop the area field header. Now you can filter tags by area and select multiple tags that belongs to a particular area and move them to the object manager section in one go. You can change the parameter of the I/O tags used in the cause and effect module using replace option. For instance, you want to use a high trip instead of a low trip for an analog trip tag. Select the desired tag in the module explorer and press replace option. Here you can easily change the parameter to high, low, high, or low, low according to your wish. You can also use a function block in place of a tag in the output section. To do that, select the desired output tag and press FB output option. Now choose the desired function block and say OK. Object grouping section is used to create new groups and add tags to them. You can also rearrange cause and effect tags by dragging them to the desired place. There are certain rules and guidelines that have to be followed when you are working in the graphic view of the cause and effect. There must be only one output per network. You cannot manually add additional output tags. They are grayed out and cannot be edited manually. But you can change or add new input tags and function blocks. To add an input tag, open the Module Explorer and drag and drop the desired tag from the Inputs panel of the Object Manager. To add a new function block, go to the Template section and drag and drop the desired function block to the workspace. The color of the edited tags remain blue until you save the CE module. The changes made in the graphic view are also reflected in the grid view of the cause and effect. You can also build a complex network with multiple function blocks as shown here. But the additional connections should stay within the boundaries of the network. Connections between two or more networks is not advisable. You can lay out the whole network after making the changes. Changes made in the graphic view section should always be dealt in the graphic view section itself. You can't make up for these changes elsewhere. After making changes in the graphic view, press Save button so that the changes are reflected in the grid view of the cause and effect. You can see that there is an f of x in place of the complex connection between input and output tags. Similarly, you can also make complex connections in the grid view of the cause and effect. Let's take a look at the first output. It is connected to 6 inputs through a simple AND gate. Let's introduce an OR gate to connect the first 2 inputs. And then an on delay timer for the third input. Here you can specify the type of timer, preset value, and a name for the timer. And then we'll invert the fourth input. And let's introduce an AND gate to connect inputs 5 and 6. Invert one of the inputs connected to the OR gate. The changes are not reflected in the graphic view when you save the CE module. You have to press the reload button in the toolbar. Now you can see the structural changes in the graphic view. We've got an OR gate, on delay timer, an inverted input, and an AND gate as discussed earlier. If you find two or more outputs with the same input and same logic, iDefine allows you to group them together into a single grid. You can just drag and drop the outputs with the same logic together. To see the change in the graphic view, you have to save the module and press Reload button in the Tools menu. Here you can see that all the grouped outputs share the same piece of logic. Here we have multiple outputs because iDefine modified the graphic view, we didn't. To ungroup the output tags, right-click on the group of outputs and select Ungroup. Now save the module and press Reload option to see the change in the graphic view. Adding extra pages to the graphic view is also not recommended. Once you are done with the modifications, iDefine allows you to export the cause and effect into an Excel format. To do that, select the cause and effect export option in the toolbar. Give a name and location and save the Excel file. This is how the exported cause and effect will look like. Things you should be aware of while working in graphic view. You should not add multiple outputs to a single network. Multiple outputs in case of grouping in grid view is okay. Changes made in the graphic view must be dealt only in graphic view. Adding input tags and function blocks are permissible. Interconnection between networks is not permissible. Adding extra pages to the graphic view is also not permissible. If you want to build free logic in iDefine, you can use FBD editors instead of cause and effects. Now you know about all the productivity features that are used in a cause and effect module, and about the things that one should keep in mind while modifying the cause and effect. In the next video, we'll look at how to build and test the output configuration and fix errors in the system.